Today, if you're feeling lost, if every day at work feels meaningless, then maybe there's just one thing you need to find the right work of your life. The story you're about to hear doesn't promise to change your life, but it just might awaken something you've long forgotten. Have you ever stared at the ceiling late at night, asking yourself, who am I? Not your name, your age, or your job, but the real you inside. Who am I in this world? Why am I alive? What's the point of the work I do? We grow up in a world that programs us: study hard to pass exams, pass to get a job to earn money, and then we become a cog in a machine, spinning endlessly until we burn out, never really knowing why we started spinning in the first place. Giản Tư Trung calls this a life with physics but without philosophy. A kind of existence where people breathe, talk, and work, but their souls are adrift, lost, without purpose. People study without knowing why. They work without knowing for what. And so, they exist but are no longer truly alive. But real life begins when we start to ask the right questions. Why do I live? Am I doing the right thing? Or am I just living out my parents' expectations, society's rules, or worse, running away from myself? That's when a door opens, the door of enlightenment thinking. We often ask each other, what do you do for a living? But how often do we ask, are you doing the right work? The right work. 3 simple words, but behind them lies a revolution in how we understand our lives. According to Giản Tư Trung, doing the right work isn't just about the right career or job title. It's about doing what aligns with your true self, your values, and your responsibility as a human being. You may be a doctor, engineer, teacher, or business person. That's your job. But what is your right work? Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's inspiring others. Maybe it's building value or simply doing good. And sometimes, your job does not align with your right work. The greatest tragedy isn't poverty, it's living your whole life without knowing what you lived for. The biggest waste isn't time, it's spending your entire life doing the wrong thing. The right work is a journey. It doesn't come from outside. It begins within, from being honest with yourself. Imagine this. If everyone did their right work, the healers healed, the teachers inspired, the sellers kept their word. Society would be a different place, less chaotic, more human. Because everyone would be living true, living right, and living meaningfully. Today's world judges people by degrees, titles, and grades. But Giản Tư Trung asks a burning question. What is education truly for? His answer is simple, yet profound. Education is first to become a person, then to become a professional. We don't study just to get diplomas. We study to understand ourselves, understand others, and understand life. That's the essence of liberal, enlightened education. An enlightened person thinks independently, questions critically, listens deeply, and lives responsibly. A true intellectual is not just someone who knows a lot, but someone who uses knowledge to uplift human dignity. In a world where everyone is chasing status, fame, and success, the idea of enlightenment is like a small torch, subtle but powerful. It reminds us that living with integrity is a choice. Even if it's slow, lonely, it is the right path. And when this enlightened light shines within you, you realize true value isn't in your resume, it's in the way you live every day. And how you see life, how you treat others, and how you pursue the right work of your life. The author ends with a powerful message. The journey toward doing the right work is not one everyone will choose. It requires you to be awake, courageous, and honest with yourself. No one can give you the answer. Not your teachers. Not your parents. Not even society. You have to discover it on your own. You might fall. You might lose your way or fail. But that's part of the journey, because light only reveals itself after darkness. And one day, you'll realize the right work is not about fame, not about money. It's about peace in your heart, the way others look at you with respect, and the joy you feel when doing what's right. You don't have to be someone great. You just have to be your true self, a person with inner freedom, living with kindness, and doing the right work. That is the highest calling of a human life.